Oh yeah, I finished Tears of the Kingdom this week. Man, it felt. I'm gonna miss it. I've been playing that game for 4 months, and it feels odd being done with it. Going, have all the collectibles, all the side quests, all the clothes, the main mission done, everything. Yeah, good 230 hours put in that game. But now it allows me to play other games like Hi-Fi Rush and Sonic Superstars, and later on the PS5 Spider-Man, which I've been dying to play. I've been dying to play that one. Of course, like, a lot of people be like, why don't you just, play that alongside Tears of Kingdom, which I could. But I'd rather just focus on one game, especially if it's a single player game. I'd rather just focus on one. Especially since I do streaming where I play other games. I'm like, there's so many happening at the same time. I don't want to like split my attention on them all too much, because I feel like then I don't. It feels a bit unfair. It's kind of like you're missing out like plot moments or like important moments from a game because you also focus on getting important moments done in other games. I don't know how to explain it. It feels just very like splitting my attention too much. Vorpal Sword is our next SCP. These are 2 short ones in a row. Damn. Safe. SCP-1871 is stored in an upright storage container at storage site 8. Requests for testing are to be directed to Dr. Ludwig. Nuke, I asked you what kind of, like, what would be your favorite superpower to have, right? Did I ask you that, or were you not here when I did ask that? SCP-1871 is a steel longsword with a cruciform hilt measuring 144 centimeters in length, with a blade 115 centimeters in length. The hilt is longer than the blade? Damn. I don't think so, no. Okay, let me ask you this time. What would be your favorite superpower to have for yourself? The hilt is bound with strips of leather. It's just like, what superpower would you like to have at the end? It doesn't have to be your favorite. Like, your favorite power might not be the one that you want to have. The cross guard of the sword is engraved apparently by hand. One side is engraved with the words, "He left it dead," and with its head. While the other is engraved with the words, "He went galumphing back." Galumphing? Is that what? Both engravings are quotations from Lewis Carroll's nonsense poem, Jabberwocky. Oh yeah! Man, I haven't heard that in a while. I forgot that galumphing came from that. Okay, the blade of SCP-1871 is worn and shows evidence of some use in combat. Traces of a purple residue can be found in scratches on the blade and crossguard. When I was a kid, my favorite was disappearing, but now I think my mind reading control. I think Jasper and Edward's abilities in Twilight. I feel like mind control might make you go nuts after a while, because you like, not mind control, mind reading. Like, if you don't have a control over it, I feel like that's like so, you're gonna get flooded with so many people's information. After a while, you just you have like high-end schizophrenia. But if you can control it, it's probably a lot easier to, like, predict how conversations will go and stuff like that. You could even like predict like disasters from happening, like a planned murder, because you can tell what they were about to do and be like, oh, I can inform the police beforehand. SCP-1871 possesses several anomalous physical properties. If placed on a flat surface, SCP-1871 will orient itself so that it stands on its pommel with the sword point facing directly upwards, although the sword is not weighted. Additionally, I need to clean my glasses. It's the additionally. Additionally, SCP-1871 will occasionally begin to behave as if it is submerged in a highly viscous liquid when it is not, and will maintain this anomalous state for several hours at a time before reverting to normal. Only SCP-1871 fucking hell, come on, there we go. Only SCP-1871 is affected by those anomalous properties. What's my superpower that I want to have? Super speed. Absolutely super speed. already love to run. I'm a runner already, and the idea to be able to like run everywhere in the world at quick time, be able to like, I could. I wouldn't need to book an airplane anymore. Nor would I have to pack a lot of things unless I want to, you know, bring, like if something big with me, like a luggage. Of course, then I would need to, but I could literally just, you know, be like, oh man, I don't know what to do. Like, I want to hang out with my friend who's on this side of the world. Let me call them. Like, hey, do you have time? And they're like, yeah, if you want to come over. Okay, I'll be there in 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, it's, or maybe depends how fast super speed. If I have the flash super speed, I'll be there in like, I don't know, like a minute, maybe less. But yeah, no, I just love running, and anything with like super speed is like my favorite power. When held by a human being, SCP-1871 will induce a variety of anomalous sensory effects. In total, 70% of all subjects have experienced changes to the sense of equilibrioception, causing their sense of balance to shift so that they perceive gravity as acting parallel to the blade of the sword, with the direction of gravity being the direction which the pommel of the sword is pointing towards. For this reason, SCP-1871 is highly impractical for use as a weapon, and likely to result in injury to those who attempt to use it in such fashion. Yeah, because gravity will shift around, so if you hold it, you just like start like falling backwards. This effect ceases immediately upon SCP-1871 being removed from contact with the subject's skin. What if you have a glove on? Then what? 20% of all subjects will not experience changes to their sense of balance, but will instead experience hallucinatory, proprioceptive, and somatosensory sensations. Such subjects will experience sensations corresponding to a drastically altered body plan of significantly larger size than a human being. This body plan appears to have at least 7 limbs, 3 tail-like appendages, no head or analogous appendage, and is asymmetric. Subjects will not be able to perceive any of their own body's somatosensory or, proprioceptive sensation during this time. Subjects will claim to experience the feelings of light rain on their body and wet leaves on the ground. The subject's other senses are not affected. This can be highly disorientating and distressing for those affected. This effect does not cease when contact with SCP-1871 is broken, but can instead last for several hours after exposure. A further 10% of all subjects exposed to SCP-1871 will not undergo anomalous sensory disturbances upon contact with the object. However, upon swinging the object, the stroke will appear to occur instantaneously without SCP-1871 or the wielder arms moving through any of the intervening space. Following this is like for all the weeps. This is like the best sword you can wish for. It's just that you can't use it. It causes a stroke just like instantaneously, like just shifts gravity. So if you do well enough, you can just like point it towards the enemy and fly towards them. Following this, SCP-1871 will appear to be coated in a viscous purple liquid, chemically identical to the residue found on the sword. With full chemical analysis, see with data redacted. What was it that the Jabberwocky, right? Is he supposed to be purple? The subject will experience feelings of elation following the swing, but will shortly thereafter begin to experience feelings of mild discomfort around SCP-1871 and will develop a mild aversion towards interacting with the object. Due to these anomalous properties, it is highly difficult, although possible, for such a subject to physically damage another object or being with SCP-1871. Note recovered from data expunged, considered of relevance to SCP-1871. Richard, I'd complain about your self-indulgence, but I suppose it did the job. I thought you wanted it back. You made it, after all. That, and I can't help but think that the blade itself has been somehow affected. It feels as if the balance is all wrong now, and I feel a little sick when I look at it. It reminds me of the whole story affair. Yours sincerely, J. Aston. What affair are we talking about? What affair? Would you use a sword that shifts that basically manipulates gravity around you, but not in a way that you have in control. It's mostly like you will, wherever the pommel is where you fly, or where gravity is, or the center of gravity is. Would you use that, or would you be afraid that like you stab the ground and suddenly next thing you know you like just go like up into the sky? Or you want to stab somebody who's on the ground, but then you forget like, oh shit, wait a minute. The pommel's not putting it up into the sky, and you just go like, you slowly just drift upwards. I want to try, but I'm clumsy as hell as it is. Alright, Noob, pass me the sword. Give me the sword. Throws it. Oh shit! I'm gonna go catch it. Yeah, what happens if you hold the sword and you start to like roll around on the ground? Is that like fast enough for the sword to be not active enough to toss you around? Could you use the sword to walk up vertical walls? Because you just like point towards that, and then just, and then you just